Hi folks, this is Double Crown, and today I'm going to be talking about the reporting culture. So what is this reporting culture? Now, this is something I think that's been developing for decades now, probably even longer. This reporting culture where basically one individual reports another individual for a relatively minor misdemeanor. And that's what we're seeing in society, I think, is this reporting culture, and it's actively encouraged, I think, as well by the authorities as well. Now, a good example of this is is political correctness. So if we look at political correctness, for example, what you've got there is a situation where one individual is against another individual, and if one person says something wrong, then another person can report them or attack them or call them out or do something because they feel that person has done something wrong. And it might be a simple thing. An example, it happened to me actually. I was having dinner, an office do. I was having an office dinner with my work colleagues, and we just happened to notice that in this restaurant that we were eating in, the walls of the restaurant happened to be pink. So somebody made a comment. I think somebody just said something like, "Oh, those walls are rather pink," and I responded to that. And I said something like, "Well, maybe the manager is a woman." Now, you'd think I'd gone in there on Christmas Day and urinated over this person's Christmas presents. That's the response I got. Straight away, I was accused of sexism. Now, it was literally just a casual remark, but that remark allowed somebody else to attack me or to call me out or to basically publicly show everybody this guy is not right in the head or whatever. So that is really quite a minor misdemeanor. I mean, nothing ever happened. I mean, I didn't get hauled up to human resources or anything like that. So I mean, that's how minor the incident was. But nevertheless, somebody called me out on it. It was a woman, and we didn't speak much during the course of the dinner. So it just made for an uncomfortable and awkward atmosphere. But that's an example of this reporting culture, and it's not an actual report as such, but it's somebody policing somebody else. And similarly, presumably, if she'd said something, I could have then reported her or called her out on it or attacked her or whatever. I mean, there's no sense of forgiveness there or trying to talk it through. It's just that instant reactive force of, oh great, he said something wrong and I can have a go at him. And that is the essence of what this reporting culture is all about. Now, other examples of this reporting culture, I mean, you probably see, you get this all over the place, I think. But one classic example is probably, for example, if you're driving a car. Now, if you're driving a car, then it's not so much reporting culture, but you've got all these cameras and you've got all this surveillance going on in the society now. So you've got cameras looking down at somebody, they're catching people's number plates. And of course, once they've got your number plate, they know exactly if the car is insured, if it's MOT'd, and if it's got road tax. So instantly they can tell just from the number plate, all three things. But also you've got all this surveillance going on. So if you speed, you will be sent a fine. If you are caught in a box junction, you will be sent a fine. If you run a red light, you will be sent a fine. If you get caught in a bus lane, you will be sent a fine. And of course, if you park incorrectly, and it might just be, you might even be parked in a bay, but if one of your wheels is outside of that bay area, you will be sent a fine, or you'll be given a ticket. So that's, again, part of this reporting culture. It's not actually reporting as such, but it's a way to attack somebody as soon as somebody makes some kind of misdemeanor. And some of those misdemeanors, when it comes to driving, are probably quite minor. But nevertheless, it gives people, the councils, etc., the authority to jump on you. And of course, there's a huge financial incentive there to do something. Now, another example of this reporting culture, I think, is in schools. You've got kids now. I've had this experience with one of my nieces. Now, she said something like that she wasn't allowed to do something or another, and she's often using that term, that she's not allowed. And I just wonder where she's got this from, but she's obviously got it from school. Fair enough, rules and regulations, you know, you expect to have certain rules, people need to have certain discipline, but it seems absurd that she feels as though she's not allowed to do something, which could be quite something quite simple as well, but she feels as though she's not allowed to do it. And this is all part of this reporting culture. She feels that if she transgresses this rule, this supposed rule that she's got in her head, that something's going to happen. And that's indoctrination from the schools to get you ready for a lifetime of this reporting culture. So I just wanted to talk about that for you on this occasion. And thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.